Hello, it's me. Hey guys, you're seeing me when you're following FYP, YT, YMCMB, AMG, DDG, ABC, ABC, USB because it's Saga episode infinity at this point. Now you may be wondering why is she like this? Well, the conditioner wangu and like I just thought putting it in a plastic bag is better because I can't find my shower cap. So now let me just come as I am. Okay, so as we wait kuti msoro kwenenjerere ngatite nchikuzechi nyaya munhu edu anhasi tichamuti Tani. Sometimes I just want to use my name, y'all. But do not forget, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my videos. I cannot stress enough the importance of you guys liking. It boosts the morale, if you get what I mean. And get your wigs. I got new stock. So yeah, get your wigs. Now let's get it. Been a long time coming with that. But anyway, Tani. So Tani says I was ku holiday ku South Africa anditi so angana sisaka no South Africa and sisvegara kishanda and she didn't have childcare and then about since wapedza kunyora form 6 ita sei imbo uyo akamira maresult umboyo mbugara wachi Joni akabata aiwaka ndo zvandiendichida sisanga ni vana vavo 3 achishengeta vana achivaendesa kucrash achivatora kucrash wekuchikoro she was just doing everything but she says Sisi was paying her as well kungompo 2.5 yekuti umbotenga kuti nice mwana ari palong holiday. So there was a particular day rekti Sisi vakamudza mwedzi uchipera kuti this month end ndinenge ndiri pamba, so if you want to do anything enda ako ku mall. And she said I want to go to Mall of Africa, right? One of the finest malls in Africa and the best mall in South Africa, according to me, of course. Now, you must go shop. Now she was so happy and excited and whatever. So Anka Kwansokita, my friends, Epa Complex by Garasiswaki. We are gonna call one of the friends Tanya. Yeah, I got an Tanya. So Dashan's organics conditioner and organics shampoo, and then after that we're going to cholesterol my hair. We're gonna do it. This is what I do to my hair. And then I end up Tanya Kumo. So I ended up Tanya Pepe Kumo, and Tanya but I they were doing their shopping and it was just nice. Now there was a point here more sports scene, right? Up in sports scene, like they sell some really nice sneakers in Selson, very affordable, very nice, but very legit at the same time. So she was just trying on my Nikes, my dunk, right? We call them dunks. The black and white, the panda, the black and white dunks. So she was trying them on, and then her friend Tanya is like, Imbo famba Tony Gigi. So like tell me famba, your friend be gassing you up like, yes, you look like Rihanna, Gigi. So at the time and I famba, also just your surroundings, you're just like, oh my gosh, you're just looking at your feet, and then bad dumamono. Tell me I got dumamono, that's when she's like, I'm sorry. And then this guy's like, no, it's cool. So this guy, we are gonna call him Big Mike, of course. So her friend Tanya is like, damn, this guy looks good, bro. Mind you, Big Mike was a colored guy, and he just had this, the way she described him and how I saw him on the picture, he was just oozing this DJ Khaled vibe. That type of colored, yeah, he was that type of colored. Yeah, the complexion, the hair, yeah, not the body. So anyway, and then her friend Tanya is like, and he can't stop looking at you because like he's just looking at you like chi. And like if you know something about spots in colored, love spots in. So then she's just like, sure, yeah, I was also like, damn, papi, she was just like, oh, this guy. Now you are gonna have to hold, cause 30 minutes dangu. Zakwana, oh, my 30 minutes are up. My 30 minutes are up. So like in the end, and then cholesterol, my hair, cholesterol. I'll be back. So I do get about videos too, past one, because we actually hair routine, blah blah blah. But in the understand say cholesterol, that data like cholesterol my hair, but I don't go plastic. That it say that it's possible. Anyway, ndova ono totichi atonagirwachi nemuface. So anyway achiri musports scene achitongobvunzwa shamwari yake kuti shuwa achiri unitarisa here chichichi zvinhu zvinongonakidza rege nemuface ndanda kumboitira mvura. Sorry. So anyway ndobva friend yake chitomti aramba akakutarisa chichichi. So muface uyu aitongoramba achitongeta shopping yake, and then eventually Tani and Tanya ndobva kuzongoenda chipa checkout point, and then vakutoda kutoti tatatu ntwawo, and then DJ Khaled ndobva buda mashure. I'm sorry, Big Mike ndobva buda mashure kwawe, and then he was like, oh makutoenda chichichi, and then she's like, yeah taptoenda, and then the guy's like, munogara kupi, and then ndobva ataura kwaanogara togara kwakati, and then Big Mike is like, oh it's not that far from me, mauya nechi, and then ndobva pakabva taura kati tauya nechi tauya nemakombi, right? And then Big Mike is like, oh I actually have a right, do you girls want to do something after mabda mnoma? And then they're like, yeah todozono traga chikafu chichichichi, and then Big Mike is like, oh okay ndokumirira, and then they're like, no it's actually like a date, and then he's like, do you mind if I get crush? And Tanya ndiakabvaka no you must come, and then ndobva vatomirira kuti say abhadhare zvinhu zvake, and then ndobva vaenda naye, ndobva vaenda unoita semunotenga chikafu. So vakaenda paKFC, and then Big Mike is like, is this what you want? Ndobva vatongoti yeah, and then he was like, I like spur, and spur it's on me. It was amazing. So as it I told her, it's just like, so muri kopi, and then he told him from Zim. He was like, oh nice, I love Zim women, blah blah blah. And then time yekwenda gym kumba ndobva vaenda unogara vesomashure Tanya na Tani, and then Big Mike specifically said, Tani can you please come sit in the front, and then ndobva vaenda unogara kumberi paipa, and ndobva vaenda unovasiya chi pacomplex. So pacomplex vakabva vanosiwa chi pagate, and then Big Mike is like, okay so next time kana ndakuya ndoti ndoenda kuapartment number ani zvikanzi munongotaura chi kuti masvika, and then tozomboda chichichi, and then I was like okay cool. Then ndobva vatoti but ndinotaura sechi tisina number, and they're just like, oh sure, this is my what, this is my number. Big Mike ndobva ira sei ndobva vapiwa number paipai her number. Hey, I really enjoyed your company, and sorry, I'm grown and I just want to be straightforward. I like you and I want you to be my girlfriend if you do not have a boyfriend. And then Tanya was like, I don't have a boyfriend and I like you like that, so let's do this. And then they started dating just like that. And then in the evening, Big Mike is calling, how's my girl doing? And then like around 8:30, he was like, Sha, you know what? We have family over, it's a weekend, so I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be on my phone. And I told Roji, it's fine. Good night. Then the babazo onana the next day, it was on a Sunday. Tanya was talking about church. Then Big Mike over phone. I was church. I want to take you on a proper date, so I'm gonna take you to a steak place. So I don't know. I call it Hasa. Some people call it Yusa, Hasa Grill. I call it Hasa Grill and steak, blah blah blah. And one thing about colored people, they love their steak, they love their things, right? So and he was just serenading the lady like Chichi, and then she was like, it felt like a movie. And he had a nice car. She says he had a Beamer M3. I think my M3 SMA Sport, I don't know, but she said M3 Sport. So yeah, M3 Sport, charcoal gray, if I'm not mistaken, charcoal black, but yeah, you get the description. He had a very beautiful car. Anyway, she was enjoying, and then after the dinner, they went out for sightseeing, the city, my lights and stuff, and it was just amazing. And then Big Mike was like, okay, so shorty, when I drop you off, I'm gonna have to like turn off my phone because tomorrow is a Monday, I have to sleep early, I love you, She was like, okay cool. And then the whole week Big Mike fine go back to call here and there, hey Chichi, but he was busy working. And then weekend Papa is to say Papa is bata, and then relationship Novato Pinam 2 weeks. And then she was like, listen, I want to come to your place. And Big Mike is like, oh shawty, trust me, you don't want to see my place, it's not all that Chichi, I don't want you to think otherwise about me. And then she's like, no, I don't mind, I'll come see you. And then Big Mike is like, okay, I'll let you know Chi muswande ndichi kwanisa kuti say oh yekomba, and then you'll come. So antarot him yanga ya month end, and the end of Andaenda komba kwa Big Mike, very beautiful house. He was staying in the burbs and it was so nice, it was so beautiful, mamuri clean and whatnot. And I just didn't want you to think otherwise, like when people see your house they start thinking and stuff, and but I told her, okay, maybe Tebi and engage instead of who he is, what. She said I enjoyed, there was a pool kumba kwabo, we slept in the morning I woke up and it was just amazing. She says it was just the best experience. It felt like she was at the Airbnb. So the relationship became so serious. It was very serious to the extent Yakuti, like she was getting upgrades, like, you know, hair and whatnot. And the sister knew, but she was just like, listen, I know you're dating, but I now need to see your man so that at least I have peace of mind. I need to see your boyfriend. And then Kudina, and they all loved him. You know, he was just amazing. And the sister's husband even said he was too good to be true, but not in a bad way. He was just like, this guy's too perfect. He's 28 and you're 18. I just hope he's patient enough to actually wait for you so that you marry him, because he's too perfect. I would love him for you. They loved him. So the relationship just became serious at that point. It is just amazing. Now it got to a point the boyfriend was now saying, the boyfriend would be like, nah, let's not do that. Hotels, restaurants, like all the time. And that's when she just realized there was a pattern to this guy. After like 8:30, 9:30, he's just unavailable, and he's available once he gets to work. So she doesn't get to speak to him when he says, morning, I'm going to bath, I'm going to do this. He only speaks to her like, I'm already at work, good morning, you know, that type of thing. And that's when she just started asking him, like, bro, are you married? And then he's like, why are you asking? And she's like, well, I need to know. And then the boyfriend said, well, what will happen if you know? Does it change anything? And she's like, no, I just want to know. And then he says, well, since it's not going to change anything, let's just drop it, but don't be asking those type of questions. That's what he said. So she was just like, okay, cool. And then she never bothered to ask again. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like it's just a way of just removing the guilt from yourself. Could you like, okay, at least if it doesn't confirm, then I don't have the confirmation this person is married, and I'm not gonna be walking around saying, oh, he's married, feeling bad. I don't get to feel bad because I don't know if he's married or not, but deep down you know he's married. If you see yourself asking that question, deep down you know, you just, you know. But that's just me. So listen, then it started for like 4 minutes. And just imagine, but even like they would go on dates and then do some nice sightseeing and whatever. I don't know, because the number of visco volume for some reason when I did my second run for my recording. But anyway, time zangu my deep conditioning with my cholesterol zakwana, so I need to go rinse my hair. After I rinse my hair and do blow soro, and then you know blow soro, noise so it's gonna take some time, but listen, hang in there. Let's see what it looks like. Oh well, we'll open in the next video because we have a hair care tutorial that we're doing. I'll be in touch. The blow soro. Wow, now we're about to straighten our hair, but before we straighten our hair, because I don't have full heat protectant, whatever, I'm just gonna keep using Bond Straight Yango because it helps with fry and it makes it easier. But anyway, vakaramba vachidanana zvakangoramba zvichingoita zvichingofayawo sekudaro. Now it should be noted at this point kuti musikana akaramba achingomaintaina kuti asikuziva kuti murume ari married here or not. Now one fateful day zvakazoitika ndezvotanga natanya vachitofamba zvavo muhudhu mavo vachitobva kuspaza, and then ndobva vaona a very nice car yakasvika ikamira paside navo ime this other lady, obva atongobvunza kuti complex yakati iri kupi, and then they're like, oh, you're not far from there, apa mukangofamba mukadaisochi munenge masvika. And then the lady is like, okay, thank you. So after about 7 minutes ndobva vazosvika kucomplex because ivo ndokwavaitoendawo. Ndobva vasvika obvona mukadzi achiri pagate zvikanzi sorry, mabatsirwe here, munhu wenyu aripo here wamamafambira or not. Zvikanzi nemukadzi yaye, actually I think I will need your help ladies. The thing is munhu wangu wandiri kutsvaga ndomboziva kuti angara mucomplex ipi, but maybe you can help me locate her. Zvikanzi ndotsvaga munhu anonzi Tani, and then Tani was like, Tani murumudi, and then she was like, oh no, I just need to see her, it's business related. So pakanzwa business related zvakaitika naTani ndezvoti aimbotsvaga mabasa iye anonzi macha ekuti unomboitawo one day uchimboklina mumba mevanhu and stuff. So she just thought kuti maybe this lady is one of those vanhu vaanenge achimbotaura navo achitsvaga basa, or munhu angu anosivhira ikobva amutichi lega ndiene ndinomuona. So she was like, it's business related. And then the lady is like, yeah, zvikanzi, oh, ndini Tani, zvikanzi, perfect, ndiwe, zvikanzi, yeah, it's me. And then mukadzi yobva atoti, okay, can I talk to you wega? And then Tanya is like, will you be okay? And then she said, yeah, I'll be fine. Rendi chitango straight, and I decided kutanga nikuma shure. Anyway, then ndobva Tanya, no, it's fine, Tanya, Anita say you can go. I'll talk to her, don't worry. And then Tanya's like, okay, cool. Now, at this point, I'm sorry, what's going on? And then this lady says, Tani, do you have a boyfriend? And then Tani's like, yeah, I have a boyfriend, but don't you worry, like my boyfriend will not even affect you, basarangu, like at all. And then the lady's like, are you sure? And then she's like, yeah, like my boyfriend will not affect my job at all. So if you're worried about my relationship, don't even worry, Gigi, if that's the case. And then this lady's like, actually, ndatongo you also got anyway, because I saw your numbers and your location each ping a lot in my man's phone, my husband's phone. And then she's like, oh no, I'm not dating your husband. And then the lady's like, do you know my husband? And then she said, no, but my boyfriend is definitely not your husband. And then the lady's like, okay, all right. And then she said, actually, I don't have a boyfriend. And then the lady said, but what about a boyfriend? And then that's when she realized, okay, this lady's colored. She's definitely my man's wife, not husband, my man's wife. And then that's when she was like, damn. This lady tells her, I don't know if you knew good I'm there. And then she said, no, I didn't know, but I asked him. And then the lady said, but were there no signs? And then she's like, yeah, there were signs, but like Gigi, he just never confirmed. And then the lady's like, okay, well, we'll make this simple, leave my man alone. He's married, he's got a child, so leave my man alone. We have a child, our child is 2 years old, so please leave my man. And then she's like, okay, I'm really sorry about that. Then the lady said, well, this is me being nice today, don't let me catch you again. And then she's like, okay, I'm really, really sorry. Guys, you know what, I really need to focus on what I'm doing. So I think straighten kumashuro kugotsuk. I'll be back. Yeah, panani at least in the ababagata babimsoro goods panonita. Anyway, ndoba realize kuti mu face wangu atoni munhu and stuff. And then, you know, she just told Tanya, you know, mukadzi auya apa, that was actually Big Mike's wife, and she told me to leave her man alone and not break her family. And then Tanya is like, but did you know Gigi? And then she's like, obviously I didn't know. If I did, I would have told you as my friend, Gigi. Now this is what I've decided to deal with. And then Tanya is like, okay, cool, so just tell him Kuti, his wife saw you and now you know Gigi. And then she called Big Mike, Kutisha, this is what happened, your wife came to see me, Gigi. And then Big Mike is like, so what did you tell her? And then she said, well, sorry, I didn't know about it. And then Big Mike is like, why would you do that? Now you're jeopardizing my marriage and stuff for fun. And then she's like, what do you mean for fun? And well, this what we were doing was fun, and then now you're jeopardizing my imba because of the fun that we were having. And then she's like, oh wow, I didn't know, it was just fun. Gigi, you told me you love me. She goes, yeah, but like in your own way, baby girl, you know, that type of thing. And then Big Mike is like, well, do not call me, I'll call you, because I think so like, do not call me, I will call you when I can. And then she's like, okay, cool. Then she told her sister, and then the sister tells the husband, and then, you know, the sister of Vatungo the husband, and the husband is like, you know what, he was just too good, Reshua. I should have known, you know, and stuff like that. So he was like, I'm so sorry, I should have known, but anyway, just leave him alone, you don't need all the drama in your life. So 3 days passed, and then Big Mike was not even in touch with baby girl. And then, you know, she was just like, well, he will call me when he can. This girl was 18, by the way. So 4th day, Big Mike gets in touch now, and then he's like, hey Shari, I miss you, how have you been? And then she's like, I'm fine, how have you been? I hope I'm open to my one comment. And he's like, nah, we chilled, we locked in, so don't worry about it. But in other news, I actually wanna see you. And then she's like, oh, are you sure? And then she's like, okay, I hope and then Big Mike is like, nah, don't worry about her. And then Sangana. So she says, you know, I just told myself, like, this is the time for you to like get pregnant. So somehow she ended up being pregnant, and she knew she was gonna get pregnant because she was like, I need to meet up na Big Mike when she knew she was ovulating and stuff. She knew her cycle to that. Then eventually she meets up with Big Mike when she was ovulating and she falls pregnant. Now, obviously, you can tell. Now, we are taking off from where we left off. Anyway, she tells Big Mike, Kuti, she's pregnant, and Big Mike asks Kuti, Saga Jada Zay. And then she's just like, what do you mean Jada say it's our baby and stuff? And then Big Mike is like, well, I told you I have a wife, and Shorty, honestly, I'm not gonna leave my wife for you. Like, my wife and my child, I'm not gonna leave them for you. And then she starts, doing this guilt tripping, like, okay, so you're gonna leave your child and stuff like that. And then he's like, listen, let's just take care of it. Like, the child is legal in the SA, not in the USA, in South Africa anyway. So then she's like, no, I can't do it. What if I die? Chichichi. And then he's like, well, if you die, girl. Like, honestly, but like, if you're gonna keep it, like, I'm not gonna be involved. And I can't, in like great conscience, I can't be doing things like that. Teenagers, I have a child out there and stuff. So like, I don't know. In the end, that's when she just tells Tanya, this is what Big Mike is saying. And then Tanya is like, listen, if this guy rather have you dead than take care of that child, this just speaks volumes, my friend. Like, just, Jonga the thing, like, that's just how it is. So, she ends up just going back to Big Mike, and she's like, well, if you want me to like claim out the child, just give me 20,000 rand and I'll be, out of your face. And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna wire you 20k. And then he ends up wiring her 25,000 and is like, okay, just take care of everything and let me know once it's done. And then she gets the money, and then she just starts thinking, maybe I should have a Brazilian, maybe I should have another Peruvian, maybe I should have this designer bag, maybe I should, maybe I should, I'm gonna go to my maybe because Marichi is now in the hand. So now at this point she starts squandering that money. She's like, anyway, so cholesterol treatment yedu muri kuona zvayaita rakeleka cause ndakarara ndakarisunga, so like ukaridai so rinobva rakela, but I feel like it's cute when it's like this. Yeah, anyway, I have a video up. Yeah, treatment, go have a look. Anyway, then she starts squandering that money, Tanya, and then Tanya is like, oh, go, just chow that money, and then kana mwanabo, you guys will start from there. Zvese zviri kuitika, and the sister doesn't know kuti mwana ane bele handiti zvese zvichiitika sikutomboziva kuti mwana wamai vake ane bele. And then she's just squandering the money Tanya wake and then it just got to a point yekuti the guy was like, you know what, you've just been buying too much stuff and whatever, can you please tell me where you got the procedure done? And then she's like, oh, ndakaenda kwaningi. And then it's like, okay, what was the doctor's name? And she's like, no, ndangopa mappies and I did it at home. And then Big Mike is like, I feel like you're lying to me, but if you're lying to me, it's fine, because at the end of the day, if you're gonna keep it, I'm not gonna take care of the child. And then a couple of weeks later, she just realizes Big Mike went AWOL. And then eventually the wife texted Mukadwa. Big Mike was like, hey, I figured you're pregnant. Are you still pregnant? And then she's like, why? And then she's like, well, ndakaona your last chat, you guys were talking about how you're using money. Akakupa GGG, are you pregnant or not? And then she's like, no, I'm not pregnant. And then the lady is like, listen, if you're pregnant, I'm the only person who can help you, right? And then she's like, no, I'm not pregnant. Okay, cool. And then at that time, now it should be noted kuti my results hanga tobuda and the results were collected, but she remained in South Africa because she was trying to apply for August intake, not like the February intake. My results pasa, and then the parents are like, oh well, unaenda bachi pa some university, we're not gonna mention the name of the varsity in Zim. And then she's like, okay, cool, Chichi. And then the sister's like, nah, I feel like maybe she has better chances being at Tuma College to Kunoko than being at a university in Zimbabwe, and stuff. And then the parents are like, okay, cool, so we'll send over the results and then you guys can start looking good to Oitaji, Koko, Chichi. And then the sister starts noticing something. She's like, hey, you are just different, Chichi. I hope you left Murmoye. And then she's like, yeah, ndakasiyana naye. And then one time she just realized her sister sister mwemusa akasvika sister yake ichitaura nemurume wacho I feel like uyuchi anipa body chichichichi, and then she's like let me do something about it. So she looks for those ningrinze dzakanyorwa pamiti manumbers aye, and then she gets the stuff done chichichi, but she does it wrong, and then she just has some bad bleeding that happens, and then she tells Tanya, and Tanya is like, listen, you didn't tell me, boy, doesn't she say, I feel like we should just tell your sister. And then she tells the sister, and then the sister went kumba kwechi kwa big mike achipopota wabvisa mwana wame wangu nombo chichichichichi, and then the wife is like siyana inesu mwana wamai vako aifanira kunge akasiyana nemurume wemunhu chichichi, and then the sister is furious at this point, furious at big mike and furious at her sister as well. I told you guys to let this go and stuff, and then eventually akazopora because akazoendeswa kuhospital, and then clean and stuff, and the sister paakangopora about a month later, the sister tells her, you need to go back home to Zimbabwe, because if anything happens, and I don't want shit with her parents. And then she ships her back to Zimbabwe. When she's shipped back to Zim, eventually the mom caught the wind of the story, and then she told the dad, and she was just going through it, disownment and stuff, and parents come back around later and stuff, but she was just saying it was just a difficult period for her, and you bringing that type of shame and stuff. So she ended up just recovering like in life in general, and then she had to go to university and now she's in her final year, and she'll be completing her studies in November of this year. So I think we'll say congrats, girl, and thank you for giving us the story. And she says all of her friends, she always tells them, you do not gain anything by being with that type of thing. So I hope you also learn from this, guys. Thank you so much for the story, Tani. We really appreciate you, and I hope you guys enjoy your week. The week starts Sunday, right? So I hope you enjoy your week, and I'll be checking in from time to time. We on time out. Bye bye. Bye bye.